Hey guys, Dominic from Genuine Assholes. It's October. I'm going to be watching a lot of horror movies, but I also might be dabbling in some other man's films, and that is Tim Burton. He's got a new movie coming out called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, however the hell you pronounce it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But I thought it'd be fun to take a look back at some of Burton's best films. Burton lately, he's been getting some hate here and there because his last couple of movies were kind of lacking. They haven't been great. They haven't been like the beginning films of his career. But let's take a look at the good ones, and let's try to forget about the bad ones or the weird ones like Dark Shadows or the Willy Wonka thing, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that wasn't that good. Let's not go there. Johnny Depp, I don't know what he's trying to do there. It was creepy, weird. Let's not get into that now. Let's get into his top films. Now, honorable mentions, I'd like to mention two films. I'd like to mention Nightmare Before Christmas because he did not direct that film, and though it's basically his movie because it's his story and it's his designs, he didn't direct it, so I kind of feel guilty putting it in a top 10 list. The other movie I'd like to mention is Big Eyes, which is a biographical film about an artist played by Amy Adams who gets her work stolen from her husband, Christoph Waltz. It's a complicated story. Keen, I forgot the first name, but that's the artist if you want to look up the story. This is a really good film, and it's a straightforward movie. It's unlike anything Burton's ever done because it's so straightforward, and there's not a lot of real kookiness going on in it. But it's a good film, worth mentioning. But let's jump into my top 10 favorite Tim Burton movies, or best Tim Burton movies. At number 10, Sleepy Hollow. Now, Sleepy Hollow is a great adaptation of a classic tale. You got Johnny Depp, you got Christina Ricci, and you got Christopher Walken in there as the creepy headless horseman. This movie works on a lot of different levels, and this was at a point in Burton's career where he was still pretty loved, but this is a movie I think that's done well pretty much for the most part. At number 9, Corpse Bride. Corpse Bride is another animated feature. This time he did in fact direct it. Now this movie is not as revered or as classic as Nightmare Before Christmas, but I like it. I think it's a nice follow-up to that. And yet again, this is another Johnny Depp Burton collaboration, which you'll see a lot of in this list. At number 8, Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd, what's not to love about Sweeney Todd? You have the dark Burton-esque feeling, you have a musical, you have bloody murder, you have Johnny Depp running around with very big hair reminiscent of Edward Scissorhands. This is a good film, and it's a bit underrated and overlooked. At number 7, Batman Returns. I am a die-hard Batman fan. Batman Returns, just like the original Batman, doesn't really follow the comic book material all that much and kind of goes into Burton's little world. I love this movie. It's a fun movie. You got Danny DeVito, you got Michelle Pfeiffer looking good in there. Danny DeVito just looking creepy and short as usual, but it's a lot of fun, and of course Michael Keaton. Now it's kind of a flip-flop between these two with the original and this one. I just have more nostalgia for that film, and that's why it's actually number 6 for me on this list. You got Jack Nicholson in there in a great role. You got a Prince soundtrack. The two Batmans go hand in hand, and that's why they're 7 and 6 on this list for me. At number 5, here we go, the top 5 Burton films. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. This is Burton's first big movie, his first feature-length film, I believe. And what's not to love about this movie? Yet again, a lot of nostalgia for me with this one. But this is a movie that, oh my god, just is so funny and so kooky. And you get hints of that little Burton vibe here and there, whether it's the nightmare scene with the clowns or just the dark humor. You see what's to come in this Burton world. At number 4, Ed Wood, the biographical film based on the director, Ed Wood, who was the shittiest director in cinema history and who is basically known for making some of the worst films ever. This is a nice movie. It's a nice look at old school Hollywood. Johnny Depp again in another movie, and this is a really kind of, a lot of people haven't seen this movie, I feel, but this is one of those movies, if you're a Burton fan, you really like it. It's enjoyable. It's yet again like Big Eyes. It's a straightforward biography film, but it's in black and white, which is cool, and it's kooky. You got some appearances by Bill Murray, who's pretty good in this movie, and, of course, Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi. I'm not going to tell you much more. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. At number 3, Big Fish. Big Fish, this, if not for nostalgia and just love, this might have made number 1 on my list, because I think this is Burton's best film to date. As far as a film, from beginning to end, ABC, this is just a great movie with an all-star cast, an emotional story, and it just blends that Burton style with a real heartwarming story. At number 2, Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands is one of my all-time favorite movies. You got a great performance by Johnny Depp. You got a great score by Danny Elfman, which a lot of these other movies also have, but this one in particular with the ooh, you know, with the snow and the ice. Winona Ryder, Alan Arkin. You got a great cast here, and this is a movie that's very emotional. It's got a lot of undertones about society and the way people present themselves and the way people behave and jealousy and all this, and it's just a great movie that every time I watch, I love a little bit more. At number 1, you know what it is. Say it once, say it twice, third time's charm. It's Beetlejuice, guys. It's Michael Keaton in the fucking role that he was born to play. He's in like 15 minutes of this movie combined, but this is Michael Keaton at his best. This is Tim Burton at his best, and this is Tim Burton's follow-up to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and this is really what cements his style. This is the first movie that we really get to see Tim Burton's style. You know, that dark, ominous shit going on, that kooky shit. You got Alec Baldwin, who's fucking unrecognizable in this movie. You look at Alec Baldwin today, and he looks like he ate this Alec Baldwin from 1988. You got Gina Davis. Whatever happened to Gina Davis, Brian? You got a great cast. Jeffrey Jones, whoever the hell, I think he molested a kid or something. I don't know, he hasn't been around, but he was in all those 80s flicks. This is just a fun movie. Winona Ryder, black hair, weirdo. You got Catherine what's her name? Catherine Macaulay Culkin's mother. Kevin! You got her in this one, and this movie is just a childhood favorite. It's a great movie. It's a great way to introduce somebody to the Tim Burton films, because if they don't like this fucking movie, they're not going to like any of Burton movies. But this is definitely one of those movies that is just, to me, it's perfect. It's a fun movie. It's got comedy. It's weird. You got great performances all around. You got cool claymation effects. And will they ever make a sequel to it? I don't know. Do I want one? Maybe, if it's done right. If Keaton's there, if Burton's there, if Ryder's there, maybe. I don't know. But that's my list for top 10 Tim Burton movies, or my favorite Tim Burton movies, whatever the hell you want to call it. How did my list do with you guys? Did you like it? Do you agree with it? What would you swap out? What's your list? Give me your top 10 Tim Burton movies. Have you seen his new film? Does it make this list? But let me know what you guys think. Check out my other videos. Check out my sketches, guys. And thanks for watching. Oh wait, I'm still here. Let me give you a quick announcement. My podcast, the Genuine Assholes Movie Podcast, is now available on the iTunes Store and on the website. I'll put a link below this video, so check that out. It's basically going to be a podcast where I talk with other people, like my brother Sal, about movies, some bad, some good. The first episode, Roadhouse, the 1989 classic starring Patrick Swayze. I mean, how could you miss on that? Check it out, guys, on iTunes, and check out my other videos again. Thank you.